August 25th, 2015 is a day that I'll never forget. It's one of those days that you'll always remember everything. I remember running into the house. I remember yelling for my mom. You close your eyes and you can still see it. Like you go through it again and again and again and again. I get a phone call from my mom. Normal phone call. Hey, I need to come by and get your keys to the house and your garage door opener. And I was like, that's a little weird. I was like, why do you need that? She's like, oh, I need to get something for your sister. And I was like, there's nothing in there for you. It's the house that I lived in. All my stuff's in it. All her stuff has moved out, And so that just kind of struck me as odd. And so I was like, no, you can't have my keys. So my boss was overhearing this conversation, was like, man, don't be like that. That's your mom. Be cool, be nice to her. So I was like, I guess you're right. I was like, maybe I was a little harsh. All right, so I made her a deal. I was like, look, if you really want the keys, you'll come up here to my work and you'll get the keys in the garage door opener. So she comes and meets me at my store, comes into the store, kind of talked to her for a minute. I gave her the keys and the garage opener, and I walked her out to the parking lot, walked her to her car. And then I talked to her for a brief second, and I was like, hey, I'm off tomorrow, I'll come by. So she was like, all right, I'll see you tomorrow. And that was it. I drive up, and it's like 5 o'clock, and my mom's car's in the driveway. And I was like, that's super weird, because that was like 4 hours ago, 5 hours ago. Knock on the front door, nothing happens, right? So I bang on the front door, nothing happens. Ring the doorbell, nothing happens. So I call up my sister, my middle sister, and I was like, hey, are you with mom? And she was like, no, I haven't been with mom all day. So I was like, I'll call my other sister. And I was like, she's always with Julie. They probably went out to lunch and she left her car here. So I call up my older sister and she's like, no, I hadn't been with mom all day. So I call my dad. My dad's out golfing. I didn't know he was at his day off. So he was like, no, I hadn't been with your mom. I'm golfing. What's going on? I call my older sister back and I was like, hey, dad's not with her. What is going on? Where's mom? And so she was like, where's your spare key? And so things were starting to get really intense. I go and get the keys and I get another phone call, and it's my older sister. She said, do you have any guns at the house? I knew what she was trying to tell me. She was like, you need to drive as fast as you can and get to the house. So I get to the house and my sister's at the house, and I can see this like it was yesterday, and I can see it so vividly. There was a hallway, and I looked to my right, which is the dining room, and all I just remember is mom, 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 mom. And so she wasn't over there, and so we look in the living room real quick just to poke our head in there. Nobody's in the living room. We go down the hallway, and I can still see it. I'm just looking both ways, and I'm walking. We both run through the door, and before we can even process what had happened, we both go all the way into the room. We look around, and I look, and she'd taken her own life. I tried to handle this situation on my own. I pushed everybody away, and I said, I don't want to deal with this. I can't deal with this. My nerves were so shot in that year. I didn't know how to do things. I didn't know how to function. And I ended up at bars and things like that, and that's not the answer. I tried to take care of it by myself for the first year, and it did not work. We kind of came together as a family. It was like, we need to get some help. Finally, they convinced me, and they were like, we'll go to Green Acres. They have this thing called Grief Share. I was like, it's not gonna help. I was like, it's not gonna work. And it did. I took it twice because it was so impactful and it felt so much better each and every time, each and every week that we went. Every time you tell that story, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much you broke down, because we all broke down, but each time that you tell this story, that's what's so important, or just talking about it, just little pieces at first, and then tell the whole thing. But each time you tell it, there's a relief. And I can look back and say, my family's a lot stronger, a whole lot stronger, right? I have a whole different relationship that I've never had with my dad before, and I absolutely love that. How do people do these types of situations without God? All I had to do was have faith and believe that he was going to pull me through this. If I lost that and I didn't have that anymore, and I didn't have that glue and that bond, What else is there? There's nothing else. And what kept me from that is my faith in Jesus. That I knew that God had brought my dad closer to me. He brought my sisters closer. He brought our family closer together. He brought all this great stuff. He brought my dog in my life. He reached out and brought my wife into my life. Everything happens. Everything was planned exactly the way it was. And we don't see that, but if you just have faith and you just put your faith in Him, He will bring you through. The reason why I wanted to do this and I wanted to share my story was that when I was going through this, it was the worst. Like I said, it was the worst thing ever. And I didn't have anybody that I could talk to about this. Because when you go through a situation like this, you feel very alone and you feel like you can't talk to anybody at all. Because other people don't understand the situation. They don't know your family member. They don't know what was going on. They have no clue. And so you feel really bad. So you hold it all in and you don't want to tell anybody. But you need to get it out. You need to tell somebody. If God can use me and let that one person know that it's going to be okay. I do know what you're going through. I understand that thought that goes through your head. It makes things a lot better.